And I did not know who this person was. You know, I was riding my bicycle, had my little tap shoes on. And there's this gentleman had a flat tire. Nobody was helping him out. Nobody was helping. And I drove by, I said, "You need some help?" He said, "Yes." Cars were going by. And I picked up the tire and I'm fixing it. And he looks on my bicycle and says, he saw tap shoes hanging, he said, "You're a hooper." I said, "What?" "A hooper." I thought he was calling me a hooker. I said, no, you know, hooper means dancer. I said, "Oh, really? You tap dance?" I said, "Yes, I do." He said, "I tap dance." I said, "Yeah, sure you do. Here's my card. Want to learn how? Come to my place." At that time I said, yeah, sure, this guy. Went home. 3 weeks later, I'm trying to find out different steps of jazz history. And my mother said, "You know what, you should take that man's opera." I said, "Okay." So I went over to his house, knocked on the door, he came in. "Oh, you ready?" I said, "Yeah." You know, at this time, I had little dance skills. And he said, "You pulled the rug over." And he said, "Show me what you got." So I thought I was some hot stuff at that time. I got on the floor and said, I said, "Beat that." He looked at me and said, "Try this." He got on the floor, and all I heard was, I looked at him, he looked at me, I looked at him, he looked at me, I looked at the floor. Mine doesn't look like yours. He said, "If you want to learn, I will show you, but you have to want it." And I want it. It was since that I was with him for 2.5 years, every night, working. We worked 7 hours a day. This on 57. 8 at night. You gotta remember this is in the 70s. Turn on the television set, and all of a sudden, you see these group of dancers dancing all over the tap dancing and singing. And I said, "Oh my God," and it was a guy named with Cap Calloway and Pat Waller and Bilbo J. Robinson. All these guys are dancing. And at the end, these two guys come flying over the bandstand and just going down the flight of steps. And then with the splits. I'm going. And I'm like, goodness. The next day I told my friends, "Did you see that movie on television?" They said, "He didn't see no movie on television." Nah, it didn't exist. And I was puzzling him. Then my teacher came to me, "What's wrong with you?" I saw this movie with these guys leaping down the steps. He said, "Wait a minute." He pulled a drawer open, and there was some pictures, and I said, "Yeah, that's the guy. There's the Heidi Ho guy, and there's Flash Water." And I said, "Oh, that's you." And it was Bayard Nicholas, and that's how I got started in the world of tap dancing. And from him, he gathered me to a lot of the great dancers from not only the Nicholas brothers, the Hi-Hatters, Catherine Dunham. I had learned the whole vocabulary of jazz steps from Lindy Hop to contemporary chorus girls moves, chorus boys move, eccentric move, stand dancing, and by these great masters, of course, Barbara, Sugar. I'm still learning from them. They got me today, real good. But carrying on the history, and that's how I got started. And you've seen the resurgence of jazz dance like you see here, when Marcus put together. It's carried on a lot.
Chester Whitmore! Now, there was a famous competition, an amazing competition called the Harvest Moon Ball. Now, I believe that one of these amazing VIPs here took part in the Harvest Moon Ball competition.
What is that?
A Harvest Moon Ball.
What they do? What year was that?
I think someone was dancing. Harvest Moon Ball.
Oh, okay. And where was this? Harvest Moon Ball?
Do you want to tell everybody?
It was in New York City, and I participated in it a few times. I won third one year, and I won second one year. And the next year, my husband and I tied for third, and we didn't get it. But the next year, 1955, we won first place at the Harvest Moon Ball in the Harvest. And then in 1958, somebody else was competing in that contest. You know anything about that?
No, no, I don't. Only thing I know, the same man I'm talking about came up to me and said, Barbara, you got to dance with a guy named Willie Posey. Now, I had no intention of doing what they did. That was too much for me. But they said, yes, you got to dance with this fella at the Harvest Moon Ball. We had 3 weeks with her husband, and the other fellow. They worked me to death. But you know what? I won third place. It was I really didn't expect it. And when they called my name, I'm talking to somebody else, and she hollered, Barbara, Barbara! I said, they doing what? She said, they calling you. I said, okay. And I went on the floor, and one thing about it, once you won, if you win first place in the Harvest Moon Ball, you could not go back and win again. So I had all intention of winning the first place after she pushed me into winning the third place. But I turned professional. And I like it.
So after that, the gentleman that won first place in 1958 was Sonny Allen. And after he won the Harvest Moon Ball, he had the bright idea of putting a dance review together. Now, one night Sonny Allen asked me to dance when he first started coming to the Savoy. And I told him, I said, I don't want to dance with you, you can't dance. Not knowing that this joker had been on television, he was a tap teacher, but Lindy Hop was new to him. He said, someday you're gonna work for me. I said, in your dreams. Well, I did, I worked for him. When he won the Harvest Moon Ball, he approached me and he said, I wanna get a review together, a dance review. He said, I want 8 girls. We're going to carry our own band and we're going to tour the country. I said, you jiving? He said, no. So he said, Barbara's going to be dancing with us. I said, okay. Well, maybe he's serious, you know. So he said, can you round up 8 girls? I said, oh, you know I can. And 8 girls we got. And we started practicing and rehearsing for like 10, 12 hours a day. And we opened in Small's Paradise with Sonny Allen and the Rockets. There was 8 girls. I made and designed the costumes. Sonny Allen had a jacket. For every costume that we had the same colors. We opened, he had on a cape with a red lining, top hat, a cape, white gloves, and we lit up the place. There was Sidney Poitier was there. Muhammad Ali was there. And our families didn't know what we had been doing all these months in these hours, and they were all there. Well, we shocked everybody. And we were only supposed to be there for 2 weekends. We stayed there for 3 months. And it turned out to be a great show. Now, Sonny would book our gigs, and he said, I've been going downtown, I've been dealing with the agents, and I cannot book 8 girls. He says, we're gonna have to cut it down to 4. So that's what we did. We cut it down to 4, and we started touring Sunny Island and the Rockets. And that's how they came to be.
Once again, there is so much. Can you hear me? Yeah. Excellent. That's fine. They've got it. There is so much information that we can extract from these amazing people. Well, my next question is for Chester. Has anyone heard of John Bubbles? Put your hands up if you've heard of John Bubbles. Yeah. Okay. These are people that we should all know. But I understand, Chester, you had you knew John Bubbles, is that correct?
Yep.
You want to tell people a little bit of your story?
Well, John Bubbles, those who don't know John Bubbles, he is the father of rhythm dancing. Whenever we hear big bands, combos, drummers that play, when you hear the drummers back there going, that comes from a dancer, the shimmy. The shimmy. They call it splangity in the jazz world, called splangity, splangity, splangity. But it's a shimmy. John Bubbles created the bass drum wheel we call dropping bombs. Instead of just keeping up, doom, 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 bop, boom, bop, boom, boom, bop, boom, boom, bop, boom, boom, bop, boom, 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 bop, boom, boom. The heel will make the fall. He was the father of syncopation, straight time, two-step Dixie, Charleston. And I had the pleasure of working with this gentleman in his last later years, 8 years of his life. But the unique thing to his teaching technique was he had a stroke at that time. So he taught with one hand, a board across his wheelchair, and 2 fingers. And he was singing, chickadoo, 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 ooh, ooh, ooh. That's how we learned how to tap dance with John Bubbles.
And again, on top of that, something else that might be useful for people to know is in his later years, whilst he was in a wheelchair, I understood you were part of the team that looked after him in those later. You helped to look after him in the later years. John Bubbles, yes. You helped to look after John Bubbles in his later years.
Yeah. I worked with him, and he was one in Los Angeles, brought back all of us, the main tap dancers. How many people heard of the Hookers Club? Anybody heard of the Hookers Club? If you don't, look it up. It's a lifespan of achievement of tap dancers that got there. John Bubbles was our president and brought us all back in the early 80s. And that was the result. We used to hang out and we used to get in trouble a lot, but you know. And working with these great masters like John Bubbles, you know, we just lost Arthur Duncan, and a lot of great people. The knowledge of these people that you want to do as a dancer, many of you are dancers and taking classes right now, you're fortunate. But if you get a chance, like you said, pick their brain, get what you can, because that is part of the history, that's part of the dance.
Chester Whitmore.
I know time is flying so fast and there's so many great stories to hear. This is why tomorrow we have a special 1-hour history talk with our celebrities at the Vintage Club. And this is the only class you can also go to if you haven't been at the dance camp. For all the dance camp participants, it's free. For all the others, you pay 10 euros and you can get in. As long as there's space, but we have the whole floor, so it should be fine. So we'll show some video clips and we have more questions. You can ask questions tomorrow. And please use the opportunity that we have these celebrities here. They're sitting over there on the table, and you don't want to be alone for the whole night, so come over, say hello, and if you have any questions you always wanted to ask, that's the opportunity. Please, one more time, a big hand for Barbara, Sugar, Chester. You are our idols, and we saw you dancing and said, wow, this is so cool, we want to do this too. Thanks so much for the legacy that you created and gives us so much joy. This dance brings together 3,500 people here from all around the world. What could be better nowadays than bringing people together? So, keep Lindy hopping. Thank you very much to Joseph. Big round of applause just for Joseph. Thank you very much. Yes. Think about it. It's vegan. It's very healthy. Then, thank you very much.